Well, the newly formed Rashtria Satantra party under the leadership of rapper turned politician Balendra Sha has quickly emerged as the early front runner in the ongoing parliamentary elections. According to the latest updates from the initial vote counting, the party is leading in 105 constituencies across the nation, signaling a remarkable debut for a party that has was established only recently. This election has attracted intense competition with a total of 67 political parties vying for 165 seats decided under the first past the post system. The vote counting process is still underway and election authorities continue to tally ballots in various constituencies. Political analysts note that the early results indicate a significant shift in voter sentiment, with new parties like the RSP challenging traditional political forces that have dominated Nepalese politics for decades. Namrata Sharma, senior journalist, is joining us from Kathmandu Valley, Nepal at this point in time. Priyadarshini Khanal, law student, is a Gen Z, is also joining us from Nepal at this point in time. Namrata, I hope you can hear me. All right. Well,
can you hear me?
Thank you so much for being here. It's very interesting, for India to monitor what's happening in Nepal. There were tumultuous days in the past, but those are all behind. A young leader, in fact, is taking away all the attention. Is that something that Nepal needs at this point in time, or do you think that the folds and molds of political experience are more important at a sensitive time like this in Nepal?
First of all, thank you, NewsX, for inviting us. Can you hear me? My voice is
loud
gone
and clear.
down. Okay. Actually, yes, we do need young faces like Balen to come and show their capacities in leading the country. Because since the restoration of democracy in 1990 and now, many of the old faces have surfaced again and again. Unfortunately, they have riddled themselves in accusation of corruption, massive corruptions like turning Nepali citizens into Bhutanese refugees, and you name it, all kinds of corruption. So the country was really fed up, and actually the country and the people are really waiting to move ahead, and development both economically and also socio-culturally. A lot of laws have been formed in the country, but because the lack of implementation is there and the lack of commitment from the political leaders, even after Nepal has thrown out absolute monarchy and come to a republic state, the mindset is somehow like the feudal and very much autocratic mindset, you see. So I think the country is waiting for this fresh new faces to come. Well, I don't think overnight everything will change and they'll have a magic wand to make Nepal as we want Nepal to be. But I think there will be changes. And the fact that the Rashtria, the country, all over the country, bells are ringing. If you have a chance, read the Nepali Times of today. I've written there, and the bells are echoing all over the country. Balen is leading. The president of RSP is being hauled, is applauded. The first person to win the election is Ranjana Darshan, who is a young mother. She's a seasoned politician, but she went to cast a ballot with a 10-day-old baby. So the whole country is seeing a change, a wave of change, where new faces are floating in and very old stalwarts are really being sidelined. There are 3 victories so far announced from RSP. Very fresh young people. 1 old head, that is Prachanda from the Maoist Party, Nepal Communist Party has won. Apart from that, all the other old faces, both from UML, Nepali Congress, and the Communist Party, are all out. And RSP is leading in 107 seats out of the 165. And they have already garnered about more than 16,000 votes in the proportional representation. Nepali Congress also has won 2 seats, but both these people are very fresh faces, not the old stall Nepali Congress politicians. And but they are leading only in 10 seats out of the 165 first past the post. And in the proportional representation, they have only 4,987 votes so far. The UML has no victory so far, and they are leading only in 11 seats out of the 165 seats, and their proportional representation is less than 2,000. The Nepal Communist Party has won 1 seat, that's Prachanda, and he went all the way to one of the most remotest parts of the country, in Rukum. He won from there, but they are leading only in 8 seats out of the 165 seats, and they have garnered so far only around 5,000 votes in the proportional representation. The other parties are nowhere in sync, you see. So new faces are coming with the bell, that is the sign of the Rashtria Satantra Party, and the blue flags are flying all over the country. The other parties, even people like Oli, who was making very flippant remarks against the newcomers, are nowhere to be seen. And the Balen's victory has not been announced yet, but the margin with which he is leading is astronomical. So actually, although everybody was speculating that RSP will win, but this kind of the fact that they are heading towards a landslide victory is amazing. You know, one thing good is that if they come up with 2/3 majority, then there will be security for Nepal, so that the next 5 years are secured. As you know very well, since our restoration of democracy, we haven't had one full term government in place, you see. So, but then on the other hand, the fact that the country has been painted by the people blue, that is the flag of RSP, and rung the bell, doesn't mean that the people will keep quiet, you know. RSP and their leaders will have to prove themselves to the kind of vote that the people have given them in this election.
You're quite right, and Balendra Sha, popularly known as Balen, is making a strong impact in the ongoing parliamentary elections. He is currently leading by over 8,000 votes against Kharga Prasad Sharma Oli in Jhabba 5, signaling a significant challenge to the veteran politician. Meanwhile, other prominent candidates from the RSP are also performing well. Rabi Lami Chennai is leading in Chitwan 2, and Subita Gautam is ahead in Chitwan 3, where she is contesting against Renu Dahal, daughter of former Prime Minister and Nepali Communist Party coordinator Pushpa Kamal Dahal. Early trends suggest that the RSP is emerging as a formidable force, challenging established political leaders in key constituencies. Let me also rope in Priyadarshini Khanal, law student, who's joining us at this point in time from Nepal. Priyadarshini, thank you so much for being here with us. What are you making of this resurrection of sorts of democratic environment and ecosystem working absolutely oiled and well in the country of Nepal?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here in the new NewsX. So yes, whatever is happening in Nepal is truly commendable. So we were actually hoping for this change, and every vote that was casted yesterday was hoping to see this outcome today. We were hoping to see the bell ring all across the nation. We were hoping to see new faces and not the stale politicians who were always a part of a corrupt bureaucratic system. So we were always opting for this, and today witnessing this has actually been like a dream come true. But also we should never forget that with great public support also comes a massive burden of accountability to deliver what previous leaders failed to do, right? We must depoliticize the state institutions and end the sharing of spoils that have crippled our bureaucracy and security forces. That is a core root of democracy. And politics must be actually rescued from the grip of the middleman and the interest group, and ensure that the state works for the people, because all these times there has always been like multiple groups of people claiming many of the people always thinking about their profit before the country's profit. So in the context of today's election, it's not a party is not winning. RSP single-handedly is not just RSP is winning, or not just Balendra Sha is winning. While these people are winning, we do not want the country to lose. We want the country to be accountable at this point. I as a protester am very happy to see the outcome of whatever has happened in the past September, whatever happened in the month of September. It was like a cries from millions of people, and today, like, our tears are actually being wiped off by this victory, because we were always opting for something like this. We're always opting for someone with a fresh mindset, someone with actual patriotism to lead the nation. And since Balendra Sha has become that face for us, this is more than, it's already a victory. We have won 1/3 of the victory already, but this is not just a win, right? This is just a small minuscule step towards all the victory that awaits for us. Everything that Nepal needs to do. Nepal needs a principled and non-aligned policies to safeguard our national interests while maintaining dignified relations with the global community as well. The era of the political master is over now. We are entering an era where the leader is a humble servant who is working for the people, and we people are actually the ultimate authority, because that's what democracy means. Democracy is for the people, by the people. What has happened in the past years, many years, is even since when I was a very young kid, we've always witnessed that political leaders were always in the power, always in the authority, and us people were always their service. But that should be exactly opposite. It should be reciprocal, right? We are serving, we are casting votes, we are sending them to that authority so that they can work for us. And now what we actually hope and what we actually expect from this government is that we are in the authority and they are working for us, for the betterment of us. We are not just talking about infrastructures. We're also talking about all the bureaucratic
You're quite right about
systems,
that. And we
all
have
the
some breaking news to
technology.
talk about. Well, as the RSP maintains its strong lead in the ongoing parliamentary elections, the situation appears increasingly challenging for other established parties in Nepal. The Nepali Congress has so far secured 2 confirmed wins and is leading in 10 constituencies. The CPN UML is ahead in 12 constituencies, while the Nepali Communist Party currently leads in 10. The smaller parties are seeing limited success, with the Shram Sanskriti Party leading in 4 constituencies, and both the Rashtria Prajatantra Party and Janta Samajwadi Party, Nepal, each leading in 1 constituency. Namrata ji, why do you think that this election is going to be a defining one when it comes to, let's say, the next 5 to 10 years for Nepal?
See, the first thing I see is the frustration of the people has been, demonstrated in the way the votes are being cast. People, candidates contesting with the Rashtria Satantra Party, even though they are new players, and many of them have not been in politics for long or at all, but many of them are technocrats. People seem to be wanting those kind of educated young people. Many of them have come with good experience in whatever profession they have, and they seem to ring a bell of honesty. And I think that is what is going to mark the next 5-10 years in Nepal, And the fact that people also have rung the bell in such a way that it is being more and more clear that Rashtria Satantra Party is going to be the largest party, if not a party with 2/3 majority and a single party to form the government. Once they do that, what Nepal knows, as you must have seen Nepal's history, is we now need a couple of full-term governments where the government we elect comes and actually implements policies and development strategies, foreign policies, change new steps to take the country ahead. And most importantly, to look into the needs of the youth of this country. Most of the youth of this country do not want to leave the country for education or job. They want to stay here. They want to make use of the digital framework, access the global market from Nepal, and come out as economic leaders, financial leaders, political leaders, and also social change makers. I think.
Right,
what
Namrataji,
is
hold on to that
happening
thought.
now-
We have some more breaking news to talk about. According to local media reports citing the Election Commission, among the 15 mountainous districts, transportation of ballot papers remains pending in 3 districts: the Sanku Basabha, the Dolpa, and the Gorkha. And as per reports, ballot papers for these districts have not been transported yet, owing to adverse weather conditions. Kul Bahadur GC, assistant spokesperson of the Election Commission, said that plans to transport these ballot papers by helicopter were thwarted by ongoing weather challenges, is what we are learning at this point in time. Also coming in is China on Friday also congratulated Nepal for holding the polls smoothly while warily watching the trends of the results. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said that we are glad to see Nepal advance its political agenda smoothly. As a traditional friendly neighbors, China values its relations with Nepal. She added that the two countries have given each other support in their effort to safeguard independence, sovereignty and territorial integrity. Namrataji, what becomes of the Indo-Nepal relationship as well? You know, we've had our ups and downs in the past as well.
Yeah.
And India has always been, for the lack of a better word, a little skeptical about the proximity between China and Nepal.
You know, actually, the relation between Nepal and India has always been a very, very special relation. You know, we have a huge open border, which no other country in Asia claims to have, you know, no, definitely not in South Asia. And that is the kind of relationship we have. And, you know, like, no matter how much hype there is in India that Nepal is very close with China, actually what needs to be remembered is before pulling the China card, you know, Nepal is a country between these two big countries, right? And Nepal has to learn to play its cards well so that benefits from both the countries are available to Nepal in a way that Nepal continues to be the sovereign country it is, right? And the special relationship that Nepal has with India can never be compared with any other country.
You said
But
it
on
well,
the
ma'am.
other
The
hand-
special relationship between India and Nepal
Yeah.
cannot exist, you know, with any other. You know, they're
any
like,
other country.
they're like brothers.
So, you know,
We're going to keep a very
personally-
close eye on the elections in Nepal. And Namrataji, appreciate you joining us. Priyadarshini, thank you so much. Though we have run out of time, but I appreciate your presence. Thank you so much for your insights. We take a short break now. Be right back.